distinguished participants of the Think Global Conference, accept my warm greetings from Yerevan, Armenia. First, I'd like to extend my sincere gratitude to the organizers of this event. It is praiseworthy how the International Trade Council's Think Global Conference brought us all together at these times of pandemic, and I sincerely hope that this event will help many to achieve success in exporting, importing, FDI, and overall overcoming the technical barriers to trade. During today's presentation, I'll try to give you a better understanding of what is Armenia's current economic situation, what are we targeting, where are we headed to, and what our priorities are. Without further ado, let us start the presentation with socio-economic overview. Armenia has almost 30,000 square kilometers. The population is 2.9 million, and in December 2015, the country held a referendum which approved transformation of Armenia from semi-presidential to parliamentary republic. The official language is Armenian, though Russian and English are widely used by the population. The capital city is Yerevan, 2,800 years old treasure, one of the oldest cities in the world, and the national currency is Armenian dram. The population of Armenia is 2.9 million, and Armenia has a high number of working age population as people among 20 to 63 make up 62% of the population. We are an old nation with central-based wisdom, but the fresh generation and innovative approaches do make up their place. Simultaneously, Armenia has a competitively priced labor force. Monthly average costs per employee are $381 USD. The target of Armenian government is the continuous growth of GDP, low inflation rate, and a stable exchange rate provide predictable and favorable basis for investment in Armenia. In a wider context, Armenia is above average in terms of GDP per capita compared to other Commonwealth of independent states. Based on its 2020 per capita gross national income, Armenia is classified in the group of upper middle income countries by the World Bank, and GDP grew by 27.4% from 2010 to 2020. Armenian economy has a rapid growth and untapped potential. Armenia has a diversified GDP structure which is well positioned for sustainable growth. Among the sectors, services drove growth following an acceleration in tourism output and continued dynamism in trade. The industry also expanded strongly, driven by a rebound in mining production. Construction sector was booming for the last couple of years due to clever and innovative policies adopted. Next, I'd suggest us to take a look at the economic ratings of the country. Over the past several years, Armenia has received respectable rankings in international indexes that review country's business environment and investment climates. As for 2020, according to Doing Business Index by the World Bank, Armenia is ranked 47th among 190 countries. Doing Business ranks Armenia 10th in the world when it comes to starting a business and 13th when registering a property. Index of Economic Freedom considers the Armenian economy 34th freest in the world, which is an improvement for 13 points compared to 2018. Economic freedom has remained fairly constant in Armenia during the past 15 years, with the economy vacillating between moderately free and mostly free. In short, if you're looking for the address of stability and predictability, then Armenia can be an ideal choice. It is also noteworthy that Armenia's scores of investment freedom is 75 points. Compared to the rest of the world, where the average is 57.7, Armenia proudly stands above. Also, according to World Bank, Armenia ranks first among CIS countries in terms of FDI appeal. So, a question might arise. Why Armenia? One of the focal points for investors is the legislative advantage of the country. The Republic of Armenia has one of the most open investment regimes among emerging market countries, and the main pillars of the law on investment do provide, first, 100% ownership of resident legal entities. Second, equal treatment, as foreign companies are entitled by law to the same treatment as Armenian companies. Almost no restrictions. There are almost no restrictions towards any sector and geographical location within the country. And fourth, the land ownership opportunity. Companies registered by a foreigner in Armenia have the right to buy land and have a long lease contract. Foreign investors can also benefit from other investment incentives, such as free exchange of foreign currencies, no restrictions of foreign staff recruitment, no restrictions on remittances, and free repatriation of profit. Further, the law of foreign investments ensures a favorable business environment for foreign investors. It allows unlimited participation of foreign capital in Armenian enterprises, guarantees for national treatment, and ensures its protection and compensation. So if you're looking for fair treatment guaranteed by the law, then for sure Armenia can be your next investment destination. I would love us to take a look also at the law of public-private partnership. The government is committed to developing a coherent and systematic approach to PPPs and a robust basis implementing them in Armenia. The government's goals is for the strengths and resources of the private sector to be mobilized in the most favorable ways, consistent with best for international practice where possible, to contribute to the economic and social development of Armenia. Public-private partnership is also guaranteed by law. It includes the rules on the development and implementation of public-private partnership programs, procedures, institutional governance framework, applicable standards, and of course other related issues. Armenia is also conducting a multi-vector foreign policy, establishing reliable cooperation with different countries. Up to date, Armenia has concluded 43 bilateral investment treaties. This particularly means that the investors of the contracting parties are granted several guarantees, in particular fair and equitable treatment, protection from exportation, free transfer of means, and full protection and security, and alternative also dispute resolution mechanisms are also allowed. Double taxation avoidance agreements are in place with almost 47 countries. The list of the ultimate list you can see on your screens. Further, I would like us to take a look at the financial ratings of the country. Armenia has a strong, stable, and well-protected financial system, which is reflected in the international ratings. Moody's credit rating for Armenia was the last set at a Ba3 with a stable outlook, and Fitch's credit rating for Armenia was last reported at B+ with a stable outlook. Governance indicators are moderately above the peer group median, and there are credible reform agenda and commitment to fiscal targets, also underpinned by IMF. Moody's says Armenia's economic growth drivers have become increasingly diverse, which contributes to the strengthening the economy's resilience to any risks or possible shocks. Armenia's economy is open to trade, and exports are on the rise as well as increasingly diversified. Due to the diversified foreign policy, Armenia has strong economic ties with multiple regions, both on Western and Eastern hemispheres. It might seem that Armenian market is limited to 3 million consumers, yet the country can serve as a unique gateway to major markets. More specifically, Armenia is part of a Eurasian Economic Union, a customs union that allows free movement of goods and services between Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Russia. Hence, it provides access to a market of 180 million consumers. It is noteworthy that the volume of foreign trade of Armenia with the Eurasian Economic Union countries grew over the past 11 months by 12.8%. Within the frameworks of EAU, the country has free trade agreements with Vietnam, Singapore, and Serbia. Armenia has also free trade agreements with other countries that include zero and reduced import tariffs, and those countries are mainly from CIS, also Georgia. At the same time, Armenia has a very preferential GSP Plus trade regime from the EU and UK, preferential GSP from USA, Canada, Japan, Norway, and Switzerland. The following slide shows the map of Armenia's preferential customs duties encompassing 45 countries with GDP of over 46 trillion. So Armenia is a country with small market, but magnificent opportunities. Despite constraints due to Armenia's landlocked position, exports are expanding quickly. During the last years, Armenia has significantly improved the diversification of export destinations. The major export destinations are Russian and European countries such as Germany, Netherlands, Switzerland, and others. It is significant that Armenia has managed to diversify its export markets, and nowadays we are witnessing drastically increasing exports to Gulf countries as well as to countries like Iraq and China. Armenia is the only country in the region which has access to those major markets in this part of the world, to a consumer market with 1.5 billion people with zero or reduced customs duties. Meanwhile, offering to its partner countries easy doing business conditions as well as skilled and competitive labor force inside the country. processed food and beverages, jewelry and watchmaking, textile and apparel sectors are in quite a favorable development and still have great potential to be developed further. Armenia also holds a notable place on the international map of information technologies. Academic and creative thinking, hard work and dedication environment provides a favorable environment for the investment climate. As it can be concluded from the chart, Armenia remains an importing country. However, the continued growth of imports and exports shows the existing potential for production and demand growth in the domestic market. Now let us take a look at the taxation system in the Republic of Armenia. Even though taxation in Armenia can be considered as favorable in comparison with the ones in European countries, the government still expressed its commitment for further improvement. Starting from 2020, corporate tax is reduced from 20% to 18%. Personal income tax is lowered up to 23% flat rate and will continue to decrease to the level of 20%. VAT is also 20%. We do not have any export duties, and property tax is one of the lowest in the region at a level of a maximum of 1%. In addition to these, we have several incentive mechanisms: tax reliefs on holidays, special tax-free regions, and free economic zones. According to the Economic Freedom Index provided by the Heritage Foundation, Armenia has one of the most favorable tax regimes in CIS and European countries. Armenia has a very transparent tax system with relatively low tax rates, and the number of tax incentives they are in use. According to Armenia's tax system structure, most of the taxes are federal and they are directly paid to the budget. We also provide various tax and customs duty incentives in order to promote business activity in Armenia. Now let's take a look at the tax incentives provided by the government of Armenia. As I've already mentioned, they are in place and Armenia has a favorable environment for investment. Foreign investors can benefit from tax incentives offered by the government. For instance, the activities in bordering communities are exempt from VAT, profit tax, personal income tax. Moreover, there is an exemption from VAT and profit tax for operations in Diligent community and adjacent territories of Tavush Mars of Armenia within the scope of investment projects above 4.1 million USD. And the whole IT sector is exempted from profit tax and benefits from 10% reduction of the income rate on employee salaries. Almost a decade ago, the law on free economic zones was adopted in Armenia. In 2013, the first phase was launched by 2017 and the first regional phase was established. Currently, there are three zones functioning, namely Alliance Industrial Free Zone, Meridian Jolly Oriented Free Zone, and newly launched Ecos High Tech Free Zone in Harazdan city. Different initiatives of free zones in the regions of Armenia are now being considered as the Armenian government induces proportional territorial development. Residents of free economic zones are exempt from all taxes, except payroll tax, of course. And there are also one-stop services and custom registrations, easy, flexible, and transparent. Next, I'll proudly present you the Investment Support Center of Armenia, the single state institution to support investors throughout the whole investment cycle. The IC is a national authority serving as a single window for investors to support companies throughout the investments process. The Investment Support Center is also known Enterprise Armenia and has lately been rebranded. The head of the board is the Vice Prime Minister of Armenia, and this organization plays a liaison role between investors and the government of Armenia. To have a better understanding of how or when Enterprise Armenia can help, here's a broader overview of our functions presented comprehensively. We categorize them generally in four major groups: considering, bridging, promoting, and aftercare. IC provides information on investment laws and regulations, business opportunities, investment projects. It identifies the potential investment location, advises on land acquisition, co-finances sources, and potential resident partners. We ensure institutional cooperation with local and international organizations, business support organizations, financial institutions, and of course, we do matchmaking. We prepare site visits, business forums, business missions, and most importantly, we have an aftercare service. In these regards, our team ensures immediate response to any problems, policy advocacy, prompt reply in post-investment stage that may arise to any businessman. Moreover, we try to ensure predictions for investment retention and the most important for us, to achieve the investor satisfaction, and we do our best to meet your expectations. I would also love us to take a look at major brands. Several brands have already invested in Armenia, and Armenia is a reliable partner for brands such as Coca-Cola, Marriott, Hilton, and Microsoft, Synopsys, and many others. You can be one of them. To conclude all what has been said, dear colleagues, today Armenia is a country of equal opportunities for business open to inward investments, and it has a highly qualified and highly productive workforce, low labor costs, tax measures, and fostered competitiveness. To create a more favorable environment for investments, the government of Armenia carries out continuous reforms in the business environment, ultimately pursuing the objective of ensuring the rule of law, equal conditions for local and foreign businessmen and investors, and availability of transparent, clear, and comprehensible legal framework. We have adopted the policy principle of ensuring an unbiased and much less restrictive regulatory environment for doing business. To facilitate processes for foreign investors, the government of Armenia has established an investment support center, the Enterprise Armenia, and it is serving the needs of foreign investors on a single window basis. I want to assure you that each and every investor will be treated carefully and professionally to ensure the soft landing of your business in our country. We will shortly after pass to the Q&A session, but before that, please take into account that anytime you'll need any help or you'll be thinking of investing in Armenia or asking a question, reaching us out, please feel free to do so. We are available 24 hours, 7 days per week. Thank you very much for your attention, and this is all from my side.